Welcome to the Mike Leaf Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Grant Wall, joined as always by Winona State head men's basketball coach Mike Leaf. And Coach left on a 2-game road trip last weekend. Not the way you wanted him to go. Losses at Southwest Minnesota State and Sioux Falls. But I think it just kind of underscores how difficult it is to win in this conference. Every single game, you're going up against somebody who's really, really good.
Yeah, it was a difficult weekend, I'll tell you that. I can't remember the last time we lost 2 in a row on the road. But I tell you that the team, Southwest, I've always said they've got a nice team and they are well coached, and it did come down to the wire. It was one of those things where, my gosh, we're shooting a low percentage from the free throw line again, and we have been doing so well with that and our shooting percentage overall. And we've just got to have that confidence when we're out there. But I'm seeing more and more teams are starting to play some zone against us, and so we got to hit that outside shot.
Taylor Cameron had a shot at the end that would have been able to win it at Southwest. Just kind of rims out. But he had a really, really fantastic weekend. Double-double against Sioux Falls, and then another strong game against Southwest Minnesota State, which is exactly what you would expect from your senior point guard.
Yeah, it is. And, it's time for those guys. They should be shining in their positions, but our inside game right now is nil. It really is. And Skylar Laughlin was under the weather, and even off the bench with Kyle Bauman, and we're not getting enough rebounds out of him. We're not getting enough scoring. So that's a real big focus for us. And I was talking to Taylor Cameron about that, and it opens up so much more for him. But we've got to get a little bit more balance inside.
Kellen Taylor, the other senior in your starting lineup, has been playing really, really well, and he continued that this weekend with a couple more strong performances, and we just talked about Taylor Cameron and doing the things that you would expect senior leaders to do. As we get down the stretch, it's those two guys, the seniors, the veterans of your team, that are really taking things upon their shoulders and really, really playing well.
Yeah, they are, but at the same time, that's one of the things in which I think is somewhat of a negative, to be honest with you, because we had such great scoring out of Riley Bamanek, for instance, the first time around, and now they're starting to really check on him and keep him in check, I should say, and not letting him get dribble penetration. And so we've got to do a better job of our spacing. We've got to get an inside presence, and guys like Riley or Conrad and those guys got to shoot and score. And again, we can't rely on those two seniors that are in there a lot. We've got to rely on everybody and get some balance back.
You mentioned Conrad Mossberg, a guy who has stepped into the starting lineup the last couple games with Mark Blacklock being out with some illness. But he's a guy who has really played well for you in stretches this year.
Yeah, he has. He's been knocking down the three. One of the things is his hustle. Good defense and hustle, and he'll crash and get us another possession offensively. So it's you have to adapt a little bit more because he and Mark's games are really a lot different.
Yeah.
But again, it's okay having him in there, and then we still have the strength coming off the bench.
Well, we're going to put a wrap on this weekend. We'll put it in the rearview mirror.
That'd be a good thing.
Absolutely. And then talk about later in this week a really big weekend coming up as the Warriors host Minnesota State on Friday and Concordia St. Paul on Saturday. So we're going to talk more with Coach Leaf about those two big games later this week.